Live from the Business Radio X studio inside Renaissance Bank, the bank that specializes in understanding you. It's time for North Fulton Business Radio.
And hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of North Fulton Business Radio. I'm John Ray, and we are coming to you from the Business Radio X studio inside Renaissance Bank. Folks, today you're more connected than ever. Whether it's your friends, your family, or your life, Renaissance understands how you bank, offering the mobile banking services that you need. And Renaissance also knows that sometimes you need to speak to real people with real answers, and that's why Renaissance has more than 170 convenient locations throughout the South ready to serve you. For more information, go to renaissancebank.com. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, member FDIC. I want to welcome two great guests from one company, Vertisys, Matt Baldwin, and Matt is the owner and president of Vertisys, along with Debra Cohen. And Debra is the unleavened bread of Vertisys. I told you I was going to say that. So we'll get into what that means later maybe. But no, she's an account manager with Vertisys. And Matt, Debra, it's great to have you here.
Thanks, John.
Talk a little bit about Vertisys. Who are you? What do you do?
Well, we are a IT company based out of Marietta, Georgia. We've been around for almost 28 years now. We started as what's known as a system integration company. And we've grown into what in today's terms we call a managed service provider or an MSP. We've been providing IT services and products and post-install support for customers for many, many years now.
So, Matt, that MSP term gets thrown around, and that's kind of an industry term. But what does that mean to me as a business owner? I mean, you do work for businesses. What does that mean to me as a business owner?
Well, what that really means is that we provide many different products and services at effectively for a monthly fee. So we can provide you with antivirus, anti-malware, spam protection, email, desktop as a service, servers or infrastructure, all for a monthly managed price. It just means that you pay us a fee to rent the software or product that we sell, and we provide that to you on a monthly basis.
Gotcha. So let's talk a little bit about the cloud, because the cloud is still, even after a number of years, somewhat controversial for people because they just can't wrap their head around the fact that the cloud may be actually more secure than the data on their desktop, right?
That's right. That's right. No, I mean, most folks use this ubiquitous term, the cloud, for anything. And one of the biggest things that we try to educate our customers on is what it means to them, because it means something different to each business. We have a difficult time, like you just mentioned, conveying to customers how the cloud can be used and how it's defined. Effectively, all it really means is you're running your equipment on somebody else's system. That's all it means, is that particular environment is sitting in a data center, perhaps in a silo or a co-location facility somewhere else in the universe. And Sure. You're just paying that company a per month fee to host your product or your service.
So that involves security,
It does.
For sure. So maybe you can give us an idea of how data security has evolved over the last 10 years.
Oh my. Well,
we've got a short show here now.
Yeah.
So. No, I can see your wheels turning on how am I going to address this in a short period of time, right? Because there's a lot that's happened.
Yeah. 10, 15, 20 years ago, security was effectively making sure there were some locks on your doors into your office space.
Sure.
To make sure that you didn't have that office creeper coming around and going into women's purses and taking their wallets and so forth. And today, there are many, many layers of security. I talked just a little bit earlier about antivirus on a desktop, anti-spam systems that secure and scan emails as they come into your system, to full packet capture, which are systems that analyze every piece of data that comes into your network and leaves your network. And these are systems that are based on reputation, where really, really smart guys that live in a secure, what they call a SOC, a security operations center, analyze every packet that comes into your network. So, boy, it's a really difficult question to answer. But it does range across physical and electronic perimeter security.
Yeah, and what that says for me, and this is a question, I'm interested in your comment on it, is the fact that we have gone through this evolution of so many more different layers and types of security, says something about the myriad of ways that a bad guy can get into your system.
Yeah. I think what we have found, at least in the last couple of years, is that you'll get a table full of IT guys, and they'll talk about pieces of hardware, firewalls, and they'll start throwing around a lot of acronyms. But what we found is that the biggest entry point into any system is the person that's using the computer. It's all about educating the end users on how to use their computer effectively, what to click on when you receive an email from someone. Do you know that person? In most cases, and you'll find out that statistically, most breaches come from just uneducated users that aren't sure exactly where that message came from, or maybe the website that they visited, they clicked a link that said, "Click me," and that installs malware on a PC, and the next thing you know, the entire network is infected. And it's really all about user awareness, and that's the approach that Vertisys takes. Is we try to educate our clients to educate their end users on how best to use their compute system.
We're speaking with Matt Baldwin and Debra Cohen from Vertisys. They're an MSP provider headquartered in Marietta, Georgia. Matt, I'm curious about how you do that education, because that's something that we have. There are a lot of IT companies around. I don't hear many talking about how they educate users on, prevention.
Right. There are a lot of different delivery methods for user awareness. And some clients will implement just video user awareness. We actually have set up lunch and learn sessions for our smaller clients where they'll just invite all of the users in around lunchtime, and we'll repeat a 15 to 30 minute user awareness session where we go over scenarios and educate those end users on how best to respond to emails, or when to ask questions, when to forward it to your IT group. And so it covers the gamut of delivery methods. Some systems are very intelligent. They're part of a learning management system where if they'll run weekly tests. If an end user clicks on a message that they shouldn't, it instantly sends a message to the network administrator, and that network administrator then knows that he or she has to work with that end user. Some are even more automated than that, where when they accidentally click on a message that contains malware, they're instantly pushed to a website that walks them through the steps of what the best practices are for dealing with email and dealing with attachments in email. So there's some pretty sophisticated delivery mechanisms for that end user awareness training.
Very cool. Now, yeah. Debra, let's turn to you. So you're the account manager with Vertisys, aka PITA, or unleavened bread. So a lot of us know what PITA stands for. That tells me you're a client person.
I am.
Okay.
My main role at Vertisys, other than managing accounts is really to be an account advocate.
Gotcha.
One of the reasons I have that nickname of PETA.
Okay.
Everybody in the office hates to see me come because they know what they're in for.
So that's why Matt brought you today, so you wouldn't be in the office, right? So everybody back at the office is happy you're over here today.
You have no idea how much work our technicians are getting done right now.
No, but seriously, we joke, but talk about how you work with a client. So someone, I come to you and I need IT help. How do you work with a client? How does a client engage with Vertisys?
Well, so for me as their account rep, I'm kind of the 30,000 foot view person. I am not a technical person, but I've been selling IT services for close to 35 years.
So she says.
Yeah. And Matt's put up with me for 27 and a half of those years.
Oh, wow. Matt's got gray hair too, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot more since I started.
Okay.
Lots of therapy.
But
yeah.
My job actually is to be that one phone call that any client needs to make, whether they're looking for some solution, whether it's IT, whether it's voice. I want them to see me as the one place they can call, that even if Vertisys doesn't offer those services, I can help direct them. And within the office, my goal is I can get them an answer no matter who I have to go bug to get it.
There you go. So, and that's pretty important for a layperson like me who I don't know how to solve a particular problem. I just want one place to go, that where I can I can know that someone's after that phone call, someone's going to be on the case about it, and I don't have to worry about whether I called the right person or not.
Right. And that's the role that I take. I have customers who call me 24 hours a day, holiday, non-holiday. I met with a client one time breaking away from an existing customer on Christmas Day at Dunkin' Donuts so we could get his network planned.
Wow. We're speaking with Matt Baldwin and Debra Cohen, open 24/7, 365. It sounds like, wow, open on Christmas. But no, seriously, with Vertisys, based in Marietta, Georgia, how do I know that I need to make a change? So I've got IT as part of the backbone of my business. How do I know if everything's okay? How do I know if I've got a problem or not?
Well, it's always good to have a third-party assessment. One of the things that Vertisys has been doing for a number of years now is that many clients or many prospects will call us and have that objective third-party opinion, and we provide free network assessments to prospective clients. And what we have found over the years is that, especially in this day and age of highly secure systems, is that most institutions that require some kind of compliance or governance actually require that a third-party IT company run a risk assessment on the network, just
Really?
to be sure that your existing vendor is doing their job. We typically find some holes in security. And
how often do you recommend that get done, Matt?
I recommend once a year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's always good when we deal with whether it's HIPAA compliance or any other level of compliance or governance, is that most of those organizations require that a third party check your system out, give it a checkup, do that risk assessment and that network assessment, just to be sure that all the bases are covered.
Now, speaking of changes over the years, Microsoft has changed over the years, and that's a name that obviously most people know because they've got a huge share in the small business market in terms of their products. So some of those products are going off support, I understand, at the end of this year.
That's right.
Right. So maybe you can address what that means for folks that are affected.
Sure. Well, if you're running Windows 7 on your desktop, or your back office is running Server 2008, the end of this year, we're going end of support. Microsoft will no longer patch any of those systems, which means that by January 14th of 2020, you'll be pretty vulnerable for each day after that. the bad guys will have more exposure to your system every day because they'll find more and more vulnerabilities. So, as of around September of 2018, about 40% of desktops were running Windows 7.
Really? That high?
So 6 months ago, 6 to 8 months ago, 40% of desktops are running Windows 7. And so we've got a big job this year getting all of our clients upgraded to Windows 10 on the desktops and getting those servers that are sitting in the server rooms and racks upgraded to Server 2012, 16, or 19.
Wow, that's striking. So is that because folks simply don't have they haven't invested in the hardware, or they just haven't updated the system? They do have the hardware that could accommodate a later version, or why is that?
I think it's a combination. Folks are they're not used to change. That's just human nature. You come into the office in the morning, you log into your computer. It's comfortable. You get that warm and fuzzy. You know that you've got a little bit older version of Office, maybe Outlook 2010, which is going into support as well. But it's really comfort level. Nobody really wants that change. So it's a combination of, potentially they may have the hardware that can support Windows 10, and most computers today can. But it's really about putting together a concerted effort and plan to upgrade those desktops, upgrade that operating system to Windows 10, and also making sure that it's going to be compatible with the rest of those line of business applications that you're running. Critically important. It's one of the reasons that we have a project manager whose job it is to work with our clients as we're going through these upgrade processes and making sure that all of those applications are supported on the latest desktop operating system.
Okay, so here is your chance to brag. Maybe you can talk a little bit about customers that you've had a particular success with. A success story or two would be great.
Sure. And Deborah might even be able to help out with this one.
She's grinning, so it must be a big success over here. Yeah.
We've had a client, they're in Tallapoosa, Georgia. They're a concrete company. And as they say out in the west part of Atlanta, they sell cement. And Wayne Davis Concrete, they've been a great client of ours for a number of years. Yep. We provide a lot of different levels of support for them. We've helped them through many transitions with their servers and back-end infrastructure and desktop rollouts. But one of the things that we do provide for them is a number of ways to support their systems internally. We monitor their systems 24 hours a day. We can, if a server is malfunctioning or if a system goes down, we get an alert. And we're kind of that second tier of alert for them because they have their own internal IT department. And typically what happens is when something bad happens, he'll get an alert, an email message or a text alert that says, hey, something's misbehaving. He can forward that on to us and we can help. Andy Johnson, who is the IT director there, loves to fish and hunt. And his favorite story is that when we implemented this monitoring system, he's actually able to go out on his bass boat and do some largemouth bass fishing. And he can actually gain access to his systems from his bass boat in whatever lake it might be.
Right.
And control those computers. He may have an end user call him, and he can do a remote support session directly from his iPhone. And he brags about that a lot himself.
Wow, that is awesome. So, and this is good for folks to know. So, you work with companies where they may have internal IT professionals. I mean, you're not just working. I think when people think outsourced IT, they think there's nobody left internally that's there on the ground that's an employee doing the IT work.
Right. And in most cases, most of our clients have an internal IT resource. So, we, as a company, I think, we're there to partner with our clients. And we feel like that we offer products and tools, proactive tools that will help internal IT departments, not hamper their ability to get their job. Or it's not, a lot of our clients that have an internal IT department, when we come in, they feel threatened, and there's no reason to feel threatened. All we're going to do is provide a ticketing solution and a monitoring solution that we can leverage that will make their jobs easier.
Sure. We're speaking with Matt Baldwin and Debra Unleavened Bread Cohen with Vertisys. Yeah, that one's, if it hadn't stuck already, it's stuck, Debra.
Seems that way.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. And they're here from, as I mentioned, from Vertisys. And that what you mentioned is interesting, because what that says to me is, if you're dealing with companies that have an internal IT, you're dealing with some pretty good sized clients.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We built our business for 25 plus years working in the legal industry. The majority of our clients are law firms, and they've ranged from small sole practitioners to the largest firms in the city. But along the way, we've picked up businesses like Wayne Davis that are concrete companies, accounting firms, engineering firms of all shapes and sizes. So our skill sets work for any type of business. We have engineers that work for us that have worked in the medical industry. They've worked in architecture and design, engineering. So they've touched a lot of these products that exist out there, as well as many of the accounting firms that are around. We are intimately familiar with many accounting packages, and so we can take those skills that we've learned over the years and apply those to pretty much any business.
Gotcha. Now, you mentioned law firms. That's a specialty for you as a vertical that you deal with. What are some of the special requirements that law firms have that you have to be sensitive to?
Well,
deadlines.
Go ahead.
Deadlines.
Go ahead,
I love
Debra.
it.
Well, no, I was just going to say, I mean, that's the big thing with law firms.
Yeah.
Is the work that they have to do has to be completed and filed by certain dates, or they leave themselves open for lawsuits. So I have to say that working with law firms that have those deadlines make us very attentive, and frankly, that actually bleeds over to all of our non-legal accounts, because we handle everybody with that same type of urgency, to the point that we spoil our customers in their need and desire for immediate gratification.
Well, you must be spoiling customers pretty well, because you've been around for 28 years, which is pretty unusual in this business, right?
Oh, it definitely is.
Yeah. So congratulations on that. That's quite an achievement.
Thank you.
As we wrap it up here, I'm just always interested in what's ahead. What do you see ahead in terms of some of the technology advances, changes that folks ought to be paying attention to, and be in touch with their IT provider on?
Well, security is always paramount.
Sure.
We can read about that every day, and wherever we are on the internet or whatever, reading the newspaper. So security awareness is critical. I think in terms of the trend over the next 5 to 10 years is, and this is something that we're helping our clients with right now, is especially with the cloud initiative. I'm holding up my quote fingers with the cloud initiative. Is that many of our clients are getting rid of those servers that they have, and they're moving them to a hosting facility. One of the things that we do is we provide that infrastructure for our clients, but we can also consult with customers to help them move those servers out of their office, quit feeding them and bathing them and sending them off to school and refreshing them every 5 years.
Sure.
You can rent those servers from somebody. And I think that what's going to happen over the next 5 to 10 years is that many businesses of all sizes will no longer have a server room in their office. That server room will exist out there in the ether, out there in the clouds somewhere.
Right.
And in most cases, it resides in multiple clouds, not just in one location, but spread across the universe in multiple data centers. That's the trend. That's the direction that many of our clients are trying to go. It takes a long time when you decide that that's going to be the initiative of your business. It's not an overnight success story. It's careful planning, as well as making sure that you are meeting the needs of your business for the future. So evaluating new products and services, that's something that Debra is really good at. She does a lot of legwork for our clients. That's her specialty, and that's the reason that she has the nickname PETA, because she is the ultimate customer advocate. But she's really good at doing that, helping our clients along with that research. But definitely moving all of that infrastructure away from your physical office and moving it somewhere else is going to be the trend over the next 5 to 10 years. Even desktops. So the idea of having a traditional desktop that sits on your desk is gone.
Wow.
You can have virtual desktops that you can compute from any device, whether you have a Droid or an iPhone or a iPad or a thin client. You can connect to that Windows desktop anywhere in the world from any device, and without worrying about security, without worrying about whether it's on the latest operating system.
Without worrying about what lake you're on.
Or what lake you're on. That's right.
I love
Lake
that.
Weiss, Lake Wedowee, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Works from both.
Can I go to the beach every day?
As long as if you could take care of clients from the beach, why not, right? That's great. Good stuff here from Matt Baldwin and Debra Cohen from Vertisys. So, Matt, if someone's heard something that sparks a interest, how do they get in touch with you?
It's pretty simple. You can go to vertisys.com. Check us out. Check us out our website. You can call us at 770-955-1755, or you can email sales@vertisys.com.
Spell that for them.
That is VERTISYS.com.
Debra Cohen, proving she's the customer person, right? Making sure that the customer knows how to get to a source for help. I love it. Matt Baldwin and Debra Cohen from Vertisys, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
So, folks, if you need other kind of help, that is help with the headaches that are involved in administrative tasks or bookkeeping, marketing, presentations, well, go engage a smart and reliable office angel. They're not a temp agency or a placement firm. Office Angels matches your business support needs personally with angels who have the talent and experience necessary to help you maintain and grow your business on an ongoing or as-needed basis. Your terms, your timeline. They lend a hand when needed and fly off when the job is done. Find out more at officeangels.us or call Chief Executive Angel Essie Escobedo, 770-442-9246. And folks, I want to just put a plug in that we do this show every Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. And if you miss any of our live shows, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, your favorite iHeartRadio. We've just been added there, or your favorite podcast app. Or go online to northfultonbusinessradio.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or on Facebook if you want to connect with us on social media at North Fulton BRX. So for our guest, Matt Baldwin and Debra Cohen from Vertisys, I'm John Ray. Join us next time here on North Fulton Business Radio.
Renaissance Rewards Extra is the checking account that checks all the boxes. Roadside assistance? Check. Cell phone insurance? Check. More than 400,000 local shopping discounts? Check. Up to $25 per month in ATM refunds and a great rate? Check. All in an easy-to-use mobile app. To open an account or find out more about Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking, go to renaissancebank.com or visit us at any of our more than 190 locations throughout the South. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.